Hello, welcome to the Here's the Thing. My name is Kevin. His name is Joshua. Angel will be with us momentarily. Just a quick announcement. You probably haven't kept track of how many episodes we've been doing, but we've basically been shooting pre-bonuses and all kinds of stuff because we are leaving for Europe tomorrow, Melissa and I. So there will be no new episode shot until the week of May 5th. So do the math. I think we shot a main and a bonus 2 times last week. This is technically the pre-bonus for next week. There'll be no main episode for non-Patreon users this week. Next week, the banked episode, there'll be a banked episode airing of when we did Ask Kevin Angel. That will air. And I'm going to take some time off. And my birthday will be my birthday's next week. Oh, snap.
Thursday.
Oh, my God. I didn't even realize that. I'm going to be 42
I know,
years
man.
old. My birthday's next week. My niece asked me, do I get excited for my birthday the other day? And I was like, no, not anymore. It's just, I'm grateful to be alive.
You don't get excited for your birthday?
No.
Not like to do anything in particular?
No, not really. Especially this birthday. I think I'm kind of dreading this birthday. This is the age that Jay was. This was his last age. So I'm kind of just like,
okay.
I don't want to be older than Jay was. Anyway, no, I haven't for a few years, actually. I'd be trying to do new stuff, but I don't be like, I don't know. It's like Christmas. When I was young, I was like, Christmas, yeah. And when my kids were young, I was like, Christmas, yeah. And now it's like, not Christmas.
I wonder if it's also you coming into the role of provider. So it's not like, man, what gifts am I gonna get?
Well, that's not even it. I don't think that's even it. Because I get birthday gifts, like my family gives me gifts, or we do. I usually opt for doing something more than like getting something. I mean, I'm happy to travel and stuff, but I'm not like, my birthday's coming up, y'all. It'd just be like, hey, man, Christmas last year when Melissa did the thing was like restoring that Christmas feeling. Because we've just been traveling to like places where it doesn't snow, so it didn't really feel like Christmas. Anyway, like by the look of it, and LA is not a Christmas looking city. It never looks like, oh, winter, snow, snowman. It just be like, this could be March, it could be October, it could be December.
It's 62 instead of 74.
1000%. So that doesn't. Yeah, that's how I feel. I'm living golden. I'm just getting older, and it's also not even like 40 was like, okay, I'm turning 40. 50 might feel like something, but 42 is just like Jackie Robinson's number. Yeah. So anyway, let me make this announcement before Angel gets here, Josh. That way you don't have to worry about it.
Okay. You can.
Yep. Let me see which one it is. Oops, nope, that's not it. Oh, I don't know what that was. Here we go. What up, y'all? It's your boy Kevin on stage. Listen, if you are not on the Patreon, you're wondering where the new episode is. There isn't one this week. We don't have any ads, so we took the week off. The only episode that's airing is a bonus on our Patreon. So if you're wondering about Shannon Sharpe, if you're wondering about that pastor and first lady who was on the Terrace Whitfield's podcast, if you're wondering about anything that happened this week that you think we would cover, that we most likely will cover, then that's going to be on our Patreon. Just checking the docket real quick. Yeah, Shannon Sharpe's in there. Hedge said we'll probably talk about Sinners a little bit, maybe not in detail, but we'll talk some about it. And I ironed my husband's. Let me start over, Josh. It wasn't as clear as I wanted it to be. Let me start over. All right. What up, y'all? It's your boy Kev on stage. Listen, if you're watching this, you're probably wondering where the new Here's the Thing episode is. Well, there is no ads this week, so we're taking the week off because I'm going to be on vacation, traveling to Europe for my London show. London, get your tickets. It looks like it has a good possibility of selling out. So we're taking the week off from the main, and we're only airing a bonus episode. I'm going to talk about WrestleMania. We're going to talk about the Dear Future Wifey episode. I ironed my husband's clothes for him to go out with his side chick. We're going to talk about Shannon Sharp and probably touch on Sinners. I don't know if Angel saw it or not, or Josh did, but we'll probably talk about it in theory, not the movie in particular, if they haven't. And if you are wondering why there's not a fresh episode next week, it's because I'll still be in Europe. So we already shot an episode that'll be banked. And again, if you're not on Patreon, there's all kind of episodes from new stuff that we've done. So head on KevOnStageStudios.com or Patreon.com/KevOnStageStudios. Remember, if you're new to Patreon, sign up on the web first. Do not go to your app store if you have Apple. If you're on Android, this doesn't apply. If you have Apple, go to Patreon.com, sign up on the web first. Once you sign up on the web, you got your password and all that, then download the app and log in. That'll save you Apple's price. Apple has hiked up the price on Patreon or on all apps, so they're taking 30%. So that is charged to the customers to save you some money. You can do that. Also, we're approaching summer hours. This summer, sometime in June, we will not be airing any episodes while we have no ads, while we're traveling and stuff. We're just going to be doing the bonus episodes like we did last summer. So if you want to keep up with us, pay the $5 for the summer. If you don't want to do it after that, that's up to you. It's your life. You are in control of your own finances. After that, God bless you. God keep you. We'll see you at the conference. All right. And there's Angel. Hello, Angel.
Hi, friends.
Welcome. Angel and Josh, did y'all see Sinners?
No.
Okay. And we will talk about the box office surrounding, but not the movie.
I know the conversation around the box office, but I didn't see the movie.
Yeah, that's all. I didn't know if y'all saw it, and I figured if you didn't, we could talk about that without having to talk about like the actual movie.
The cinema, the pure cinematography. It is so good. 70mm IMAX movie.
8:10. All right, y'all ready? And 5, 4, 3, 2. What up, y'all? Welcome to Here's the Thing. I'm Kev on stage. She's another podcast episode. Smash that like button, smash that notification button. Quick reminder, guys, no new episode next week. If you're on Patreon, you know this. If you missed that announcement, it'll be a banked episode that we already shot. We pre-shot all our bonuses, pre-shot all our mains. We're all caught up so that we can take the rest of this week off and all next week off. We'll return back the week of May 5th. The next time you see me on this podcast, I'll be 42 years old, Jackie Robinson year.
Wow.
All right. Let's kick it off real quick before we get into the group chat drama. Just a quick WrestleMania update. WrestleMania is great. We did the most wrestling things. I feel the most tired I've ever felt attending wrestling events. Melissa and I came on Wednesday night, because I got invited to be a part of Ashe Wrestling, and I did that. I commentated, which was much harder than it looks. I commend the people who can do that for a living. I kind of was getting tired at the end. I was like, okay. And it was only like a little over a 2-hour show. But there's like no breaks on regular sets. You got breaks. You can take a break. You can go to the bathroom. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't shoot every scene. That was like when we shot the challenge show. We was just breaking, shooting. Right? They wasn't cutting no promos. I was like, whew, all right. But it was a super great time. Ashe Wrestling is a Black-owned independent wrestling promo company. I took a bump. I believe I had maybe a slight concussion, because the guy who was teaching me did not tell me to tuck my chin, and my head is heavy, and it snapped back and hit the mat.
A lot of whiplash.
Harder than it looks. Whiplash for sure. That's a noggin. So that was good. Came back. We went to Tab's party, which was fantastic. I nearly got caught being tired again. Hey, man, I'll be tired. Okay. I be traveling a lot. I turned around and Tab had her camera on me. And I was like, hey, y'all. I literally didn't sit down because I felt myself getting tired. And Marcus was like, I got my phone ready. Let me catch you. Let me catch you.
He was ready to get you.
But it was the same combination as last time. Like a long day, travel, combined with hard bottoms, plantar fasciitis, and a party being like after 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, no nap.
The party wasn't after 11.
It was after 11 at that time.
No, it wasn't.
After 10?
No, it was like after 9 o'clock. It wasn't even after 10.
Oh, Angel, when Tab took that video, that was like 10 minutes before I left.
Yes, I sat in her food right after that video. I had an ass full of falafel.
Oh boy.
I couldn't believe it.
So shout out to Netflix. They invited us to WrestleMania this year. So, you know, bless God, we were able to see WrestleMania on Netflix's dime. And to that I say, ta-doom, nigga. Fantastic. It was a totally different experience. They had like a little private suite lounge thing where you could get food and liquors and popcorn, and you could watch the wrestling on the big screen. They had a shuttle take us to and from the hotel. We missed it the first day because we didn't know where it was. So we walked back to our hotel, which was an hour and 10-minute walk. And we just kept
I would have just lived where the wrestling was. This is where I live now.
We didn't plan on walking that far. We were going to walk to the nearest cab, but there's just so many people leaving. Ubers were too far.
Oh my
So by the
God.
time we were like, okay, now we can get a car. Our hotel was just like one more up and down. When I was young, we used to walk up and down the strip. When I was a teen and coming to Vegas, we had no money to do nothing. We'd go from end to end, just walk up one side, cross the street, walk and just look and laugh. And now at 41, hey, my heels is hot, y'all.
I bet they are.
So yeah, the matches were great. My two favorite were probably 1A, 1B Roman Reigns triple threat match with CM Punk and Seth Rollins, and Bianca Belair and Io Sky and Rhea Ripley triple threat match. It was just cinema. The women, their wrestling skill, their strength, their ability, and their agility allows them to do things that are so impressive. The men are also good, but I think part of wrestling's explosion is not so male dominated as it was. I remember when I was a kid, there was no women wrestling, like one or two. Remember, China was big for a while, and before that, it was like
that wasn't when you were young. China wasn't like
China when I was in middle school.
Yeah, I'm like China wasn't.
When I was a kid, it was like Sister Sherry, maybe. I can't think of anybody I remember wrestling. It was all big, hulking, steroid abusing men.
Zay looked 5 every time he turned around because somebody touched his hand. He was like, he might as well have been missing his 2 front teeth.
You are seeing him and my face because it's excited. They're right there. If he wasn't in the way, if the boys didn't come, I would have been like,
touch my hand, please.
Touch my hand, wrestling man.
I'm surprised you didn't push him out of the way so that they could.
Him and Joe were, hey man, I want to meet some wrestlers. Also, sitting next to Joe is like sitting next to a stackable washing and dryer machine. That boy is all shoulders and muscle. And I usually sit next to Melissa, and she sits next to the boys. But that was my first time. I said, hey man, we gonna have to switch. It's too much shoulder action.
Too much shoulder.
If me and you next to each other, that's too much shoulders. The main event sucked. John Cena winning. There was no pizzazz. Boo. I get it. He's going to ruin wrestling, blah, blah, blah. Raw was amazing. It was amazing. It was amazing, but I'm tired now. And after Raw, we went and saw Sinners with the boys.
Last night?
Yes.
Oh, you guys are just kids living in Vegas.
Yeah.
Yes.
Into the late night?
Into the late night.
What time did you get back?
Like 11.
Woo!
The only Sinners showing we would have been able to see would have been 11 p.m. And Marcus said, why would we pay that much for a nap?
Y'all can take the best nap in them comfortable seats.
Oh yeah. I was like, no, we can push through. He was like, but we're not going to.
See, that's that 40 plus. You got to make some business decisions.
I
All right,
wanted-
here's the WrestleMania update. Let's hop into the Dear Future Wifey story.
Please play the clip.
Play the clip. Clip is coming up. Dear Theodosia, what to say to you? On y'all, clip loading. Came to my
Okay,
to rest on Easter. All right, here we go.
My word, I had a radical heart shift from that moment. I got in my word, under my word. I just completely changed as a person. And I realized that God loves me, that God has a purpose and plan for my life, that God chose me, that I'm fearfully and wonderfully made.
Yeah.
So he would call me out my name. It wouldn't bother me because I allowed God's voice to be louder than his. And when I was going through transition of him not coming home on the weekends, not being there, telling me I hate you, I'll never love you, I wish I never married you,
Right.
I knew that life and death is in the power of the tongue through the word of God. So I would say, you will love me one
Yep.
day. We will have
Yep.
a good marriage one day.
Yep.
And although he would go out for weekends, I would literally help him get ready to go meet a side chick by ironing his clothes and getting them ready for the night. And these are all things I was graced to do. I would not encourage anybody to do that unless you are graced by God to do this. But once I knew who I was, I realized, oh,
Angel, as a Black woman, mother, wife, I should say, not mother in this instance, wife, I would love to hear your thoughts.
I don't ever want to know the Lord in that way. Whatever relationship she's putting on God, I don't want to know him in that way. And I need people to understand that God's voice and the devil's voice sound very similar. They sound almost identical. I'm gonna need you to know the difference. You know how a twin mama can tell the difference between her kids?
Yeah.
I'm gonna need people to start attuning to that. Because I'm sorry, you ain't putting that on my God, not the God I serve.
Not the God of Abraham.
Not
don't
the
wanna submit
God,
to your
not the
husband the way
God
you do
that
the
I
Lord?
serve. Not the God. Ain't no Lord that I serve, that I went to go celebrate the resurrection. He did not die on the cross for me to ever prepare a man who has made promises to me and to the Lord about me to go break those promises and prepare him for it. Nah, no. It ain't no man, even the one that I love and will probably go to jail behind, okay? As much as I love him, ain't no version of my love for him going to allow me to be talked to that type of cash crazy and me having to be like, no, you will love me. No,
I use that war room voice.
because that's what you know when people think they really fighting principalities. I'm gonna find out who the principalities are. They fight. You will love me. No, you ain't got to, because I know some niggas that'll like me enough that I don't even need the love. I don't even need the love. These niggas are like me enough, and that's fine. I really felt so sorry for her in that moment and pissed off at the two men sitting there going, yeah. Yeah. I just felt like, don't be lying on my God, ma'am. Don't be. I've been watching you abuse yourself. You abused yourself and you allowed him to misuse you and you made it to the other side. But let's call a spade a spade.
I feel totally different. I think this is what's wrong with today's generation. People are not willing to go through things anymore. Like, a woman's place is to care for her husband in the household.
It's biblical.
You're going to iron his clothes anyway. You're going to iron his clothes. What does it matter if he's going to work or to be with his side chick? Iron his clothes. That's what I'm telling you. If you're supposed to iron his clothes and you love him, you made a vow to cherish, obey, and submit. That's the problem. Y'all don't want to submit. This is why you gotta be rich auntie. You gotta grow up, grow old. You want to take your little girls trips because you don't have no husband because you're not willing to make the sacrifices. Back in my day, they would do these type of things. They would know that grandpa have a family on the other side of town. She'd still cook him dinner, still turn over, give him some butt, have some bacon and toast waiting for when he gets home from work, and iron his clothes. But now y'all don't want to see 30, 40, 50 years of marriage because you're not willing to go through nothing. So go to Cabo, go to Tulum, go to Coachella, rich aunties, go to Dubai. And when you're single and there's no man that wants you and you're childless, then you'll understand that being with a man who has to go visit his shy chick and ironing his clothes is better than being alone.
So you feel like God would give you that type of grace to be able to make sure Melissa powdered down her face?
Yes.
And slick down her edges?
I would steam her sundress. I would steam her sundress because to me, the most important thing isn't a happy marriage. It's the amount of years. Okay.
That's exactly what it is.
40 years. We've been married for 40 years, 45 years. This is what we're talking about, guys. And I know y'all are young. Y'all don't want to go through these type of things, and that's fine. You don't want to submit. This is why black men are marrying white women. By and large, the white
by and large.
You want to know something really, truly, honestly funny?
What?
This is the church that we did our show. These are the pastors of the church that we did our show in Phoenix. Kid you not. 1,000,000%. This video is going viral and somebody sent it to me. And I said, I think that's the pastor of the church in Phoenix. There's another TikTok that I just saw. Let me see if I can pull it up and show y'all that somebody sent me this one.
Beautiful church though, Angel.
Oh my gosh. And Lateris, I know Lateris as a content creator. He probably was like, oh, thank God. Like I know he was probably like, this finna go crazy.
Yeah, it would have went crazy on anybody's show. The only difference is, as I would have been like, are you mentally okay, my love? Because why is you saying this? Why is you saying that was God? Tell me why God would do that to you.
Tell me why.
Tell me how this is helping in
Ain't nothing but a side chick.
Tell me why. I just know God did not shed his blood for this. You can't tell me. No.
For submission. Submit the husband as thy father.
She gave the disclaimer that y'all don't have to do this. You don't have to do that.
No, but I'm not going to do it. Here's the issue. You, my love, are putting it on the Lord. Do not.
All right, here's the other one I want to show y'all.
These are literally my pastors.
Mm.
I'm talking about being.
Oh God! Don't make me check. What? Select two objects that are the same shape.
Come on, you can do it.
You got it.
I'll give you
a hint.
That ain't.
This is what I call life. Yeah.
All right.
Before we got married, we dated in high school. And in high school, I knew that I was number one, but I knew when I met him, he told me, you're my starter, but I got other ones on the bench, and what else would you tell me, baby?
That you my point guard.
Yes. And that you love me.
But I like them.
Right. So I was in a relationship I was okay with that as long as I was first. Mm-hmm. And there's a reason for that. I want, the women to know out there, I didn't know Jesus. I didn't, know who I was. What'd you say, babe? I had no value.
You had no value. You had no worth. You did not know who you were.
You didn't know your self-worth.
Right. And I'm 17.
Yeah, of course.
So I'm a teenager, and I was preconditioned to think this way because my mother divorced my father for infidelity, and I'd always thought if you could just forgive him, our family would stay together.
Oh, that's deep.
So that was not a deal breaker for me, as long as I knew about it. Now he knows if I found out about it, we'd have a problem.
But if he told you in advance, you'll be okay.
Yeah.
So if he said, "Hey, listen, tomorrow I got this little shorty lined up. I'm gonna go run through and I'm gonna smash it. I'll see you the next
Well,
day."
he would never say that.
It was usually after the fact.
Yeah.
Hey, I had a hiccup last night. Just heads up.
Yeah.
You know.
A hiccup.
You were saying after the fact.
I'm not even being funny at this point.
Oh, I didn't know it went that far.
No, I want to see what the girl says. Those are her pastors. Go back, Kevin.
Sorry, hold on. I don't know what she's saying. She could say anything. She could say, "Come on stage ain't funny," and I'll be like, "Wait, what?"
It's okay.
Clown.
Go back.
This why they need to tariff microphones, man.
Yeah.
If they tariff microphones, we gonna have less content to choose from. I need them to keep it going. Make them free.
Free.
Give
We'll
us
give you money if you get a microphone.
refunds
pay
on
people to do the
microphones.
podcast. That way we could get more stuff.
It hurts my heart to hear her talk. It hurts my heart. Kevin, did you go that far out? What did you do? Throw the woman away?
I go to church.
You ain't got to listen to the whole thing. I just want to hear what she was going to say.
I've been very disobedient and I haven't been there. They are my pastors. And I have to question their judgment because there is no way in hell that I would have went on that podcast and said the stuff that I said. I don't care how long they've been married.
Okay. I
The
just want to see if she's going to spread some other tea.
disrespect. Yo, and they are on her page and they are in her comment section. And I literally had to write on her wall. I was like, you need to turn your comments off expeditiously.
Not right on her wall.
Because it is only going to get worse.
That's
You
lit.
I'm sure it went.
viral
I'm
for
sure
the
this
wrong
went
reason.
crazy on Facebook.
That interview did not eat like you thought it did. It did not do what you thought it was going to do. Honey, there is nobody excited about y'all marriage or them 32 years but y'all. Because ain't no way. I go to that church and they be talking about like their history and things like that and stuff they overcame and things, and it's extremely uncomfortable. But honey, let me tell you something. Nothing was more uncomfortable than that interview. And there's people on her page right now telling her to stand up. That she deserves better. That may this love never find me. Turn your comments off, y'all, because turn the church comments off, turn their individual pages off, turn their kids' pages off, because they're going to come and they have a lot to say, and rightfully so, for what you put out there. Y'all put y'all business out there and it's not doing what y'all think it's going to do. And I go there. Jesus, that was just, I literally have to question their judgment. And then they wrote a book on marriage.
As they should.
They're going to want to sell their book after this goes viral.
I'm sure they're flying. Different audience.
Kevin, Josh, would you all discontinue going? Kevin.
Kevin, it's gonna play a video. God dang it.
I'm trying to find something for y'all.
Would
Somebody-
you be able to stay at that church if this was your pastor's?
Absolutely. I'm gonna tell you why in a second. Let me play Mel Mitchell's TikTok. Somebody asked to see this.
The baddest Mitch.
The baddest Mitch.
I'm gonna buy this book.
It's gonna help you, Joshy.
I hope it's on Audible. It's easier for me when I commute.
not lukewarm faith, not normal faith, radical faith. And I got so deep into the word of God, and this would help me keep going. So when he told me he did not want to be with me, he hated me, he wished he never married me, he wished I was never born, I knew that that was a joke. God specifically told me that he didn't mean that. What did I say? Life and death is in the power of the tongue, and God's voice was louder than his. His voice was saying, "Oh, please divorce me, please, please, please." And I said, "No," because God didn't say he meant that. God said, "You just playing." You know what I'm saying? So it was funny because, you know, he's with his side chicks every day of the week. You know, well, he had days. He would rotate. It would be like Tasha on Tuesdays. It would be Teresa on Thursdays, Wanda on Wednesdays, stuff like that. And I said, "How can I help?" And God gave me the assignment. God put this on my blackboard. Okay. God told me, you know, prepare.
How's God wearing a crop top?
I would pack his lunch, you know, because how can you cheat on me and how can you have the energy to do that if you're not on a full stomach? I'm doing what he needs to be done so he can be there for the side chick so he can come home to me eventually.
Oh, me?
You know, and God said that. God told me to do that. And that's what I did. And that's what I did. And that was
Sarah falling off.
an assignment that is not yours, but this was what he told me to do, capital H. All right, watch this.
Watch this. I just don't like it. I don't like when we put these things on God. Just say, because and she brought it up a little bit, because of my own past trauma with my mother and father's relationship falling apart, I was willing to take the lowest of low as a standard for my husband's treatment of me. And not only that, I allowed him to set that standard when I was a teenager, you know? And as long as I know what he's doing, it makes me feel like I've set some sort of bar for him to be able to get over. Like it, and the fact, it doesn't look like he felt any remorse. And now, obviously, this is just a clip, but at no point in time should you ever laugh at misusing me.
Angel, they were laughing together, Angel.
All three of them.
Yeah,
You ain't got no values. That's what I said.
That's the worst part. What did you say, babe? I don't have no word. You ain't had no word. Yes, I did. Don't ever ask that. And that's what you said. You asked me if I could go to that church, and I said yes. I'm gonna tell you why. As I became a man, I realized I don't got to listen to y'all on everything. Some stuff y'all just say, if people in power and position in my church, and I just be like, I'm not listening to that. I remember they told me I couldn't go to Music Soul Child concert. They said I could go, but just don't put it on Facebook because it might cause somebody to fall. And I remember being like, they need to grow up. If I'm listening to Music Soul Child and I go to a Music Soul Child concert, too bad. I remember one of the missionaries at our church, missionary is a woman in a leadership position. She was talking about sucking peen and came up in marriage enrichment. And she was like, if God wanted me to do that, then he wouldn't have gave me teeth. What? He gave you teeth, you eat soup. You stuck on popsicles, you stuck on all kinds of stuff. Lollipops.
She sucked on. She might not even use a straw a day in her life.
You don't put your teeth on ice cream usually. So what the heck are you talking about? You know, a lot of men, you don't go down there and do that. That's not manly. That's not of God. It's of man. Yeah, he's gonna have to tell me about that at the pearly gates. If I get to heaven and God be like, no, you wasn't supposed to be eating no coochie. Oh, why you ain't tell me personally? You gotta tell me on the show and say, Cap, I don't want you licking. Because if you don't, I'm gonna try. Oh yeah, I'm gonna try it. Like Preacher Boy did. I'm gonna try it. So anyway, to answer your question, there was a lot of stuff I shrugged off in my pastors. Listen, there's stuff we shrug off in the Bible now. Them slavery scriptures, slaves, obey your masters, skip. I be turning the page. Well, scroll now. We don't really turn the page. You know.
There's certain standards, because if you knew your pastor was beating his wife, would you stay?
No, well, that you didn't ask me that.
Well, I'm trying to figure out your standard. To me, he might. There's certain, just like I wouldn't go to a doctor whose patients were dying left and right, and he weren't like maybe like an oncologist that dealt with high stages of cancer, but if he was like a regular primary care physician, and every Tuesday or every Wednesday there was a patient of his that was dying under his care, I'd be like, I'm not going to you anymore. So if I found out that my pastor was this type of whore.
But Angel, you're forgetting this was a long time ago.
I doubt it.
She said she was 17.
No. She said when they met, they were 17.
And she lost 12 or 13, right?
No, this was like first 5 year stuff. Come on, guys.
I think it's probably last week stuff as well.
Oh, Angel, no.
I'm sure he has matching outfits with his other women.
He's a hood dude. When I met him, he was a hood dude. I think he was a hood dude and she was a hood girl.
Their family, they have family values though. They had a huge mural of their
family,
of all their family on one of the walls.
This is the thing. There wasn't enough talking about, and I know I was wrong.
You didn't listen to the whole interview, Angel. You only listened to the viral clips.
I don't care. If you huck and chaka, no, you're not gonna be able to then switch it up. But you know what? I knew I did her wrong, and I'll never do it again. And no woman, first of all, he should have chimed in and been like, absolutely no woman should ever think they have the grace to do this. Luckily, my wife, unfortunately, was dumb enough at the time to stay. And I'm sorry I said something rude to you again, but this is just a habit of mine to say rude things.
Angel, he's a leader in the church.
Nah.
They would have said he's talking over her if he would have interrupted and did that. I think it was great for him to let her speak.
There are certain standards. I don't need for any. You're so stupid, Kevin. I don't need for any pastor to present perfection, because I think then also you're lying. But if you're married and you are a whore, I am not going to be able to sit under you. If you are homophobic, them days is over. Can't sit under you. If you are racist, this is why I don't even try it with a lot of white pastors no more, because I'll be like, I don't want to sit here and try to figure out what your viewpoint is. And if you're an abuser, I'm coming from if the pastor's a man. Now, there are many things you can still do, and I'll be like, oh, it's okay. Get back up.
Like what?
I would say if you have not a lot of like good people person skills, like meaning you rub people the wrong way, like your attitude is real like stank, I can get over that. I can easily get over that. I can get, if you get caught cussing, like some of our gospel friends have.
I didn't realize sure had a cuss word on it until you were saying that.
Whoa.
I literally was like, what does this shirt say? Post to post, coast to coast. That's all I saw when I bought it.
Ass is biblical though.
It is. It's in the book, so I can say it.
You could get it for something. I don't know what the something would be. And I'd be like, all right.
A little money laundering. Don't make it on never mind.
A little something. I don't think I can do money mismanagement. Not money that's been donated. Now, if you messing up your own.
No, I'm talking about money laundering. Like if you laundered at your job, you was laundering.
If they didn't launder the money that the people, now if he's money laundering because he has a drug operation and he has to mix it in with the church, I'm okay with that. Because I feel like that's real entrepreneurship. But there are other things that I'm not going to be able to hear you. God is not going to unclog my ears. And that's going to be an issue. Because they could be speaking good. They could, because I believe God can speak through anybody. I am allergic to it, though. He's not going to unclog it. He's just not. He's not going to unclog my ear.
I remember when I was going to a church and I realized that the pastor was likely MAGA.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, my son's asking about something. To your earlier point, and I was just like, Dang, man, he's MAGA, huh? Got to get up out of here. Can't deal with the mag. But yeah, I think I'm trying to think of what would make me go out.
Well, you don't go in. Let's start there. Let's start there.
I watch online. Church has changed so much. You can watch online now, and that's really the same thing. The body of Christ is more electronic now. So I'll be serving electronic Jesus. Let's move on to. You want to hear a funny story? So, and I can say this since this is the bonus. That Shannon Sharpe $50 million alleged sexual assault lawsuit dropped yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I kid you not. We were at a brunch at an event yesterday when this interview dropped. Within 30 minutes of this interview dropping, Shannon Sharpe was sitting within 6 feet of us at a booth. It was a booth with me and Melissa and the boys.
Oh, did you ask him about it?
I did not ask him. I ain't say no. He well, know what you did now, Uncle. I ain't got trouble again. I didn't say nothing. When the text came out from his account, like the leaked text that he was showing, I don't know exactly when, but I'm pretty to moderately certain we were still in the same event together when he dropped the leak text, or he leaked her text to him. That's what made me want to title this "Get Us Out the Group Chat," because I saw that story and I was like, dang. And I ain't gonna hold you. This lawyer, Busby, is the same lawyer that represented the Jane Doe from Jay-Z, the Jay-Z case a few months ago that was just recently dismissed.
Uh-huh.
Bless you. I think that if I were her, I would have chosen literally any other lawyer on earth than that man. Literally anybody else. Your credibility is an important part of legal cases. Your credibility, especially in sexual assault cases, one of the things they do first is try to destroy the victim's credibility. Right? Mm-hmm. That's what they go for. And a lot of cases are tried in public opinion, which public opinion has no bearing on like actual legal opinion. But if you're in a jury case, like if your case has a jury, which I think she filed a civil lawsuit, and I don't think juries are used for those. I'm not a lawyer, but I'm just saying things. But I think anybody else would have been the person to choose to at least start off with some credibility. And I'm not saying this didn't happen. Obviously, this is alleged. I don't know this man. I don't know this woman. But if it were me, I would have chosen anybody else than Tony Busby. I didn't know who Tony Busby was prior to the Jay-Z thing, but because that case didn't quite line up, and I believe Drewski was named. Actually, I don't think that was the same lawyer. But anyway, I would have chosen anybody else. And then the text, Shannon leaked her text messages to him. I
said, wow. When I got to big black baby, I said, ma'am.
Put a big black baby in me from somebody who's not black. And also,
racist.
I don't think a black woman would even say that, because the assumption is any baby you put in her would be black if you are black. So you don't have to specify as if he has a choice. He can't put no other baby in you.
That's
obviously
she's fetishing. She's got a fetish. Put that big black baby. You would not.
You don't got to check the inventory to see what he's got in there.
That is just, she just wants that. I grew a black human being.
That feels like breeding. Like don't say that. I would have immediately been like, okay, bye. I'm closing my laptop. We couldn't have no more conversation after that. What can we say after you say that to me? Baby gravy? And listen, I'm not here to yuck nobody's yum. The way people are sexed always feels weird to me. But big black baby, what do you respond with? If somebody says, put a big black baby in me. Well, you know I can't. You know, oh God, it's big black baby. Yeah, you know I gotta do. I gotta do it. That's what I gotta do. My grandma always said, "Baby making gravy is for making making baby." I don't even know what I said. I don't even know what I say sometimes.
Lakers and 5.
I would put an Asian baby in you because they are smart people. That's like, what else? How else are you going to respond? But when she said,
"Big black baby making gravy," United States Navy, Lakers and 5. Lakers and 5.
I don't understand did she say, I want to lick your a-hole and then marry you?
Oh, wait. I didn't see that one.
25K per cheek.
Yeah.
I want to wait. I missed that.
I want to lick your butthole and then marry you. I said, well, why is that the sequence of events?
Sounds like a vow to me.
Why is that? I really feel like you're doing this in the wrong order. I think marriage, then the eating of the asshole, but to do it in the other order just really feels uncouth to me.
Man,
very nasty.
I missed that one.
How'd you miss that?
I don't know. I kind of was reading with one eye closed. After Big Black Baby and Baby Gravy, I was like, ugh, I don't like. Let me tell you what. Listen, I ain't gonna hold you, and I mean this in all seriousness. I'm not. I can't imagine. She said when they met, she was 19 and he was 50 something. This is why. This is why I be with a woman who, one, I grew up with, but two, is my age. That is Shannon is what, a boomer or a Gen X?
Gen X.
Gen X and Gen Z. Is she even Gen Z or Gen Alpha? Gen Z is not. Oh yeah, that's Zay. Gen X and Gen Z.
Ooh.
What? I feel like for me, past 30, maybe 40, okay, I give you 10, 12. 30 years. 30.
Yeah, there's no world that works. 60 and 90 even sounds like, what the hell?
That's what I'm saying. 30 years.
Yeah. So this girl is that much young. She said, if you want to put a dog collar around my neck and choke me with it while you're effing me, I want you to, not if you want. I want you to. What is happening? How old is this girl currently? How old is she?
I think this might have been 2 or 3 years ago. So she's no more than 24, 25.
How's she knowing all this stuff?
I think, okay, here's my hypothesis if y'all want to hear. In these circles, I believe the rules and the gameplay and the game plan is different than in our circles. And I mean our circles in like Angel and I and Josh. We are meeting people that are in our same socioeconomic background and industry. There's not a big wealth distribution. It seems like a lot of men with power and money and wealth, they be having the affinity for young women. And I think that part of it is because they probably do crazy stuff, like lick your butt. And say, I want to lick your butthole and marry you. With the boo-boo on your breath? Boo-boo, how far after the butt licking is we walking down the aisle?
Oh, it's as we walk down the aisle. You're crawling.
Mouthwash? Are you like lick and then put the ring on it? I lick a ring, you put a ring. When does the marriage happen? You know, because you got the butt smell on your upper lip. Like, that's what I want to know. Your tongue stink at the aisle?
Here come the shit on my tongue tip.
Oh my God.
Here comes the shit. I don't know why, man, that old would be like, and yes, I'm still gonna fool with you.
I mean, that's what he said. You know I go fool with you. You know I go fool with you. That laugh tell me you want somebody 25, 30 years younger.
I don't get it. You know, especially, I also don't get it when these men have so much to lose, why they can't get it in their head. Stop messing with these babies, because ain't none of them interested in you because you're amazing.
No.
They want your money.
25K for each cheek. You need a Myrtle. You need somebody who will iron your clothes for your side chick.
Because let me tell you, ain't no way that 19-year-old Angel would ever let a man that old touch me unless I'd rather go give plasma, and I used to.
They don't give you 25K per cheek for plasma, Angel.
What'd you say?
They don't give you 25K per cheek for plasma.
At 25, I had nothing that I needed that cost 25K. There was nothing that I needed where I needed $500, nigga. You would have thought that I was the richest person in the world. I don't need no old ass man to give me that. That's just a couple weeks of plasma.
When I got my first ATM receipt that was over $1,000, I almost framed it. I literally looked at that thing for 3 calendar days. I kept it in my
You had a comma in the mix, Kev.
Gosh, I said, boy, why y'all niggas looking at me in the eye? Poor bastards. Y'all ain't been to space.
Then some young girl that came and took you for your money.
I had $1,030, Angel. I was like, yuck.
Yeah, I don't know why men don't realize it. I mean, I think some don't mind that the girls want them for their money, but then don't be mad when they take you for your money. Like, you know why they're there. Like, ain't no way that you really think that you are competing with some of these young boys that are in great shape, that got that real good energy. You're not competing with them in like aesthetics or in like stamina. So what is the extra thing that you have? Money. So then don't be mad when they then try to what is this called? Extort you.
Well, the thing is, it's like, obviously sexual assault is a very serious allegation.
Yes.
And I think what happened is, I tell my sons this. I say, obviously, we don't want you to be, having sex before you're married, but if you're going to, use a condom. But as far as consent goes, we always have conversations with them about the less you know a person, right? The less you know a person, the more or the easier it is that you can misunderstand a signal or a no or a glance or whatever it is. If you don't know that person that well, and if you add drugs and or alcohol or both to it, then you understand even less. So my thing is, why would you, I just live my life differently. I wouldn't want to have $100 million on the line, but not be able to be my full self and trust a person that I'm in relations with. That's just not how I would want to live my life. I wouldn't even want to feel like, it feel like you might be one step above sex work. Really, at this point, you ain't like, if
one step above. No, you're not above. At least sex workers say what they really are trying to accomplish.
Yeah.
So you are definitely multiple steps below. I won't put that on honest sex workers who is out here.
Good, honest sex work.
Doing what they got to do. I've talked to little Marcus about enthusiastic consent. And I was like, when I make sweet potato pie and I say, do you want some? And you've already grabbed the pie from me. I said, you know how excited you get to eat the pie? I said, if she can't show you that she's excited to do whatever it is that you all have discussed that y'all want to do, I said, it's not. I said, because what's difficult is to try to figure out who's playing coy and who is actually hesitant. I was
Yes.
like, they start to look alike, very much so. Someone who's like, I don't want to show you how much I like you, so I'm kind of like being a little backing off, and someone who's hesitant because they're not really sure if they want to do anything with you. I said, they look too similar. Again, they look like twins. I said,
Yes.
just leave them girls alone.
Mm-mm.
Push them out.
I like
I said, you want somebody that wants you and wants you out loud. That's
Yeah.
like, give me the sweet potato pie. And I said, if they don't want you, baby, keep it moving.
Keep pushing, because it's on you. That's what I tell my boys. This part is on you. The consent part is on you. It's no until it's yes, and yes can become no. So you will limit your chances for this if you are in a committed long-term relationship with someone. That is less likely to be misunderstood. But I'm like, if y'all drunk or drinking, you drunk or high, you go home. You don't do nothing. You hear me? You go home and you don't do nothing. Because now you don't even know what you if you can't understand your own feelings, you definitely can't understand hers.
Oh,
If you can't read the signals, sometimes the signals are hard to read. To your point, Angel, sometimes the signals are hard to read sober.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm glad, or I hope, I don't even know if I'm glad, I don't even know if this is happening, but I hope we are getting away from the playing hard to get type of thing, because I feel like that leads to a lot of misunderstandings that you got to push and all that type of stuff. We need to give space for women to say, yeah, I like you. I want to be with you. We can do this. And men to be like, okay, and I don't like you, or I don't feel like it. And we need to be able to say and understand all those things. And I think you could make it sexy. Tell me you want this. You sure about it? You want it? Sign here and say I'm okay with that. You're like, just make a deal. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Think
it
this
don't
would
have to
make
be.
it sexy to move like you're on a boat?
You know,
Is that what makes it sexy?
I don't know how to kick game, Angel.
Well,
Well, it starts
first
with
you
kicking.
say, hey, bitch. That's the start. I just told you this. I agree, passionate for Christ. Every consent is the responsibility of both parties, whether it be male, female, 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 male, male. Both people should want to be in the situation that is getting ready to happen. And if not, that means that there is not mutual consent. And these boys should not feel pressured to feel more manly just to take whatever ass is being thrown their way. Shannon, this is how you get in here. This is how you end up with a woman extorting you with wanting your big black baby and your doo-doo on her tongue. It's because you felt, because she's young and wahite, that you had to say yes. You didn't.
Or Hispanic, because I think her name was Zuniga.
She's something. And what I'm saying is, it should have said no to all of it. I can't.
Yeah.
I
All
know
right.
at Christ every time. Passionate for God. Yes.
Let's move on. I thought this was ridiculous, but we're going to talk about film for a second. Actually, let's talk about film real quick. Before we talk about Sinners in the box office, hallelujah, the Academy just said they're implementing a new rule where you have to watch all the films. Let me make sure I read it correctly. The Academy is now implementing a new rule that members must watch all nominated films in each category to be eligible to vote in the final round for the Oscars. And I asked myself, are the people even watching all the movies?
No.
Because
that's why all the white ones win everything.
But I think they just changed this for the Grammys a year or two ago. But it's like, how are you watching? Because I've seen, especially when the actors and actresses, if I've seen both movies, right? I saw what Jamie Lee Curtis won for, and I saw what she beat Angela Bassett in. I'm like, there's no way you watch both of these movies and you legit thought that woman had a better performance in her movie than Angela Bassett.
Right.
So now it makes more sense. And one thing that is super true, Angel has said this before, Oscar movies are a type, they're released at a point, and they're campaigned for. That just because, I guess in my naivete, I used to think, prior to knowing much about how it works, I thought that the people who voted had to watch all of them, and they just was watching based off. I mean, I'm sorry, they just were voting based off the movies they watched. And this was at the time when they're like, I may be mistaken, but I feel like Best Picture used to only have 5 or 6 movies. Now it's like 10. I don't know. I could be mistaken. But I thought people who were in the Academy were like, how Josh knows music. Like, he gonna listen to that new whoever, right? He gonna know whatever, how I know comedy. Oh, I'm gonna listen to these people's specials. Like, I thought they were like film nuts.
I think some of them are, but I mean, because it is the same in music. I think it's not necessarily based on what's best. It's who campaigns, who's at all the stuff, who's shaking hands, who's creating the narrative behind the album. But also, like you said, the Grammys changed their system. I think they used to have unlimited votes. Now they can only do a couple per category, right? Or something like that.
Yes, I heard that. Harvey, I can't think. Harvey Mason, maybe. I think he's over the Grammys. That was one of the things he switched to because I think people were just voting blind or voting for like how I would do. You know, actually, I don't think. No, I think I would lean towards Black artists. I ain't gonna hold you, but even when I thought I was rooting for Angela Bassett to win for Black Panther, I didn't think she would. But I understood if Stephanie, I believe it's pronounced Sue, beat her because that performance was amazing. But when Jamie Lee Curtis won, I said, okay, now this is just ridiculous. There's no way that was that was not an Oscar-worthy performance to me. But who are me to judge? Because I didn't know. I didn't know you couldn't do all. I mean, I didn't know you could vote without even watching all this stuff.
This is why it's very rare because, you know, a lot of these Oscar films are not like super budget films. Like a lot of them are, for instance, Monsters Ball. You know, they did that for a very, very low indie budget. So it's not even that it needs to be this big budget. Because I'm trying to even think. Studio blockbusters don't usually get nominated. Like, no. That's not something that's going to happen. So it really is mainly a popularity contest in a lot of ways. And if you're able to have someone that people already respect in your film and it's dry and crusty, there's the better chance.
And Blue Angel.
Oh, gotta look cold. You gotta look like you're inside of a walk-in Frigidaire, and they're gonna be like, "This has to be, one of the best things ever." It's just now because they realize, our racism is showing that they're like, okay, well, let's start putting some people of other colors into the categories. But at the end of the day, these people are not watching these slow ass, boring ass films. They're not. And they're not watching all the ones. This is the thing. Not only are they not watching all the nominations, like the actual 5 that are selected, they're not watching all the submissions. That's the thing that's really like
to make the final.
Yes. So that's the reason why you're not going to see films that we might enjoy. And I'm not even talking about the big Black films, just films in general. If we were to go to a film festival and be like, that was pretty good. If it ain't got somebody that these people respect as a director or as a, as an actor or actress, they're not coming out of the submissions category. They're going to say that.
I think it's kind of like Manchester by the Sea. They rant and raved about that movie so bad. When I watched that movie, I said, oh my God, I'd rather watch a dog swim for an hour and a half.
You didn't like Leo's performance in Revenant?
This was his performance. That was
a masterpiece.
That's another example. The doggone Revenant, the thing they kept saying, we only shot natural light. We only had 3 hours to shoot. I don't care, man. What does that have to do with me? Y'all could have shot the whole movie on a green screen. That doesn't matter.
You know what? During the day, I only live in natural light. That's not impressive. I'm only in natural light right now. That's the sun
Man, who
on my
cares about that? The audience does not know or care. Good lighting designers can make they can make nighttime look like natural light if they got the resources. So who cares? That doesn't make me know, never mind. And that one was like, Oscars felt like we gonna give it to Leo because we should have gave it to him the other times. Ghost, Whoopi Goldberg should have won for Color Purple, and they didn't give it to her. So they're like, okay, we'll give it to you for Ghost. Her performance in Color Purple was far superseded her performance in Ghost, and she could have won an Oscar for both. If you ask me,
yeah.
And even the Playing Against Type, Denzel could have and should have won for Malcolm X. He won for Training Day, Playing Against Type, and he won for Glory playing a slave. Get your hands off me! Like, but
he didn't say that in Glory, did he? Did he? I know
he said that. He said that in Malcolm X.
He said it, Malcolm.
No, he might have said it in Glory. I think he said it in Glory too. Get your hands.
I think he likes that line. Get your hands.
That's why it was so funny when Jamie did it.
He did that to Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman, Grave Digger. I watched that movie in middle school, by the way. I don't know that.
So did I.
Should have.
Oh, why not? It was good. It was about
school. Did you watch it at school?
Yes.
Yeah, I watched it at school.
Yeah.
He said it in like 4 movies.
I think so. I'm dead serious. I think he's very much so don't touch me type of man.
Y'all saying he didn't say it. Hold on. I bet you.
In Glory.
Let's see if there's a Denzel Get Your Hands Off.
Glory had the silent tear. Boop.
Of course there's a Get Your Hands Off Me compilation. Oh, it's in A Soldier Story, and it's in Malcolm X.
Oh, A Soldier Story. Okay.
Oh, because Story and Glory, they sound the same. That's why.
And and then he was a soldier in Glory as well.
Fucking hands off me.
He says effing in that.
You want to hit old Sergeant?
He said it in Glory.
Nigga, your fucking hands off me.
No, they say he said it in Glory.
All right. Get your hands off me, Grave Digger.
I did. He said
the whole world got a pump in your face, nigga. You better get your hands off me.
He said it twice.
Yes. I was gonna say I thought he said it to
around here. You hear me?
You better get your hands off me. I got to wash this out.
Let it burn, nigga. Get your hands off of me.
He said it back to back in Malcolm X. Grave Digger.
So, acting lesson 101. Doesn't matter what it is. Get your hands off of me is where you're going to get grounded. So once you do another person's show or even Churchy season 3, Kevin, put that in there.
I should have did that when I
have Angel's character say that, Kev.
I wasn't even trying to be smart. I was dead serious, just like right in there.
I didn't get one in last weekend. That was my one. Sorry.
Look at his face. Why you go there?
Kev was so excited to do whatever he was about to do with it. He put it back up. Whatever joke he was about to do.
Kevin, come on. That's what we should have did in City High the musical too. I should have been like dancing with you, and then you should have been like, Lana, get your hand off of me.
Nobody cares that I cast you in that. See, I cast you in City High.
Oh, Kevin.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
I wasn't there, man. I want.
No, you want to go play golf? Play golf. Go play golf. Hit a 5 hour.
Sorry, I took one weekend over our 2,000 shows over the past 2 weeks.
Go have a good life.
Never.
Before we go, I want to talk about this thing about Sinners. There's this huge fear that Ryan Coogler is destroying Hollywood because he negotiated a deal where he got final cut of the film. He gets first dollar gross, a percentage of the box office based on gross, not profit, which can be gamed. The IP ownership reverts back to him after 25 years. Basically, as soon as that movie came out, before the weekend was even, there's no spoilers. So just know that. Angel and Josh have not seen the movie, so I'm not gonna spoil it.
I know it's demonic. I know Nobody else in Hollywood has ever gotten this same deal, which is also a lie.
That's not the case.
Yeah, you said that was a lie, Josh.
Isn't it a lie? I thought
Yeah, it's a
Lucas
lie, it's
said-
a lie.
Okay.
And
Okay.
Tarantino just got a similar deal. First of all, if you think a black man was able to negotiate the first deal of its kind in Hollywood, I got property to sell you in Idaho.
It was at least three people, no?
You know Steven gonna get a deal like that. You know Steven.
George
The
Lucas.
best deal in Hollywood.
You know George gonna have it.
Yeah,
Not Ryan. He ain't gonna be the first.
yeah. Ryan Coogler, who quiet as kept. Was this his 5th movie?
I think so.
No. So he had Fruitvale Station.
Yes, Fruitvale
1 and 2.
Black Panther.
Creed 1 and 2.
This might be a 6th. I think he had one more.
Is this the 6th? Wait, did he do Creed 2? Or did Michael?
I didn't think so. I thought he
No,
did.
I think he just did the first one.
He only did the first Creed then.
I think.
Yeah.
That is
No,
bless me. Excuse me.
Well, I think he produced Creed 3.
Okay, but he didn't direct 2 or 3. I know Michael B. Jordan directed 3. I don't know who directed 2 though. Was it Antoine Fuqua?
Antoine Fuqua.
Oh, it was Stephen Caple Jr. That's right. Stephen Caple Jr. And then after that, he went on to direct a Transformers movie.
This is his 5th.
Yeah, this is his 5th.
According to AI.
This is a Sinners is an original IP. Brian Coogler directed it and wrote it as well. Let me tell you what. The article I was reading was saying that one of the reasons that he got this lucrative deal was because Warner Brothers pissed off a whole bunch of people during the pandemic when they released a whole bunch of their movies direct to streaming, and they apparently these directors were so mad. I think Christopher Nolan was one who said he would never direct with them again. Let me find the article for y'all real quick.
You know who else gets that? The redhead Toby.
Redhead Toby?
He was a child actor and now he's a well-respected.
Oh, Ron Howard?
Yeah.
Does he have red hair?
When it was on his head, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. What's Toby? What's Toby?
It was Opie, but you get
Opie.
Yeah.
I didn't know you said that because he's bald now.
You don't have a head full of hair. But y'all got it. Toby, Opie, the type of names that sound like you grew up near cows.
I could imagine what's his name? Curb Your Enthusiasm would get it.
Larry David? Nah,
yes.
he ain't a director.
Well, he don't do movies.
Let me read you some of the directors. So this is the article I was trying to find. Warner Brothers agreed to the deal in large part because it needs to appear artist-friendly after burning bridges with directors in early COVID. The studio put the entire 2021 film slate straight to streaming. Christopher Nolan was so pissed he left his longtime partner and joined up with Universal for Oppenheimer. Dang. He gave them
was that the reason behind the delay?
Possibly. So this must have been what movie I don't know what he did that went straight to streaming. Anyway, Warner under David Zaslav has since hounded out some very director-friendly deals for Paul Thomas Anderson, $130 million for a Leo crime film, Maggie Gyllenhaal, $80 million for Bride of Frankenstein remake, and Coogler, $90 million for Sinners. Coogler said he wanted the IP back for his project because the story is very personal, but is unlikely to seek the same arrangement on future deals. Other top directors have pulled off IP ownership: Quentin Tarantino, Peter Jackson, Mel Gibson, but usually they're self-financed or grandfathered in. The person said, the studio exec said, studios exist for one simple reason: to build a library. The lifetime long-term value of our film properties is what makes a studio a studio. It's why David Ellison wants to buy Paramount. It's how MGM sold for $8 million. Things like licensing windows and all this kind of crap. Here's the problem with being black. If you believe me.
Tell me more.
Ryan Coogler's movie made, I believe, close to $60 million opening weekend for an original IP.
Internationally.
I think domestically.
I thought domestic was closer to 40, but I could be wrong.
You could be wrong. Only person who knows off the top of their head is Tony Baker.
But we know we can't trust him because that nigga said that Sister Act was a black movie and didn't realize it had a black director and a black writer.
That's true, but I'm not black, so I can't comment on that.
You're doggone
We
right.
can't
Josh.
trust that German man.
48 million domestic, 15 million international, total 63 million.
So I was international. Okay.
You were right.
Yeah, you're right, Josh. So Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was a similar budget, similar deal, and the Variety released an article when that came out that said Once Upon a Time in Hollywood stunned with $50 million opening weekend, $50-60 million opening weekend, and then Ryan Coogler's is like, it made this much money, but it's a long way to profitability. Ain't nobody talking about no movie profitability in the first week unless it's Avengers level budget and $1 billion in the first.
And Once Upon a Time in Hollywood stunk. I think people just liked it because they like to gas up Tarantino.
Oh, they just love to lick his butthole and marry him.
Mm-hmm.
$25K a cheek.
I like Tarantino's movie.
I don't mind him. But go ahead.
He write nigga far too much to not be.
That's why I think he just plays on. I'm a director.
Yeah.
And at the time I was watching his movies, I didn't know he was writing them. A lot of those movies was nigga heavy. I didn't realize he wrote and directed them. I was just watching. Like Pulp Fiction, when I watched that, I was much younger. I wasn't like, who wrote and directed this? I just watched it. But later on, that started to sit with me like, why that man be writing nigga all the time?
Somebody brought it. Monique J brought up Ben Stiller. Check that comment online because I don't know if you guys saw that tweet. I think it was a tweet. It might have been a thread.
I was busy this weekend, but I've been Stiller.
That was actually really fast, really good. I'm not even going to lie. You came up with that so fast.
Ben said, in what universe does a $60 million opening for an original studio movie warrant this headline? The headline said, this is Variety. Sinners has amassed $61 million in its global debut. It's great result for original R-rated horror film, yet the Warner Brothers release has a $90 million price tag before global marketing expenses, so profitability remains a ways away. That's not a title you usually see associated with a movie making $60 million in its opening weekend.
Racism, and that's what it is.
Especially an original movie, and especially an R-rated movie. Like them PG-13 Marvel, you can take anybody. Minecraft movie, Barbie.
Minecraft had Jack Black in it, no?
Yeah. And Danielle. And then how much Minecraft made?
I think it's like $1 billion. I don't
think
it was in there. No, I don't think first weekend. Hold on.
In the first weekend.
I'm sorry. It's
163 domestic.
Yeah, but how much did they make?
163 million domestically, 313 for global.
That was the first weekend.
That was opening weekend.
How
much
did it cost?
Oh, Minecraft was probably way more.
Probably 200 million, I'd imagine.
So that's what I'm saying. They, in their first weekend, did not hit 200 million.
Oh, well, Minecraft was 150.
Minecraft's 150 million.
Okay.
But I think that's about average for a bigger budget film. I was going to ask you that, Angel. What is considered a low budget tier versus a big budget tier?
When you're looking at less than, I would say, like 3 million, you are doing a very low budget film. Granted, there are people who are doing films for way less. They're figuring it out for 300. Hell, we have a friend who tried to do a whole television series for $300,000. And there are pilots that cost $1 million. But yeah, when you're in the lower millions, that's still very low budget.
Yeah, because I think Sinners was like 90, but they also shot that whole thing on 70 millimeter.
Yeah, I saw it in IMAX. It was cool because it was like the aspect ratio was changing. It was like
It was more. Oh, they played with it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. No spoilers, man. No spoilers.
Well, he talked about that.
Oh,
all right.
Never. All right.
Oh, last thing. We can talk about this. Last thing. Cat Williams. Shout out Cat Williams. He got a street named after him. They're floating Taylor Swift's name in a Bodyguard remake. I think this movie's gonna get made, and I'm gonna tell you, no joke, no hyperbole. I think Taylor Swift is the perfect person for the Bodyguard. I think they do a little race swap like they did with the Karate Kid. Get a black baby in there. There's no black artist that was going to be able to play Whitney Houston's character anyway. The artist in question should be a pop star. Taylor's the biggest pop star. I think it needs to be Taylor Swift. And Kevin Costner's character needs to be played by Idris Elba.
Yuck.
Run and save her.
No, why are you doing such a big age gap? No, it's not.
How?
What was that girl's in her 30s. I forget.
Yeah, Taylor Swift is like 35, I think.
But he how old?
No, he probably 40 something.
I thought he was in his 50s.
Yeah, he 50.
Maybe he's 50. He's 52 and Taylor's what? Okay, never mind. They need to be romantically compatible.
Yeah, I just feel like he seems too much older than her.
Michael B. Jordan.
No, Michael B. would just need to shake it off.
You're coming in fast too. I love it.
Michael B. Jordan as the Bodyguard, Taylor Swift as the pop star.
Taylor Swift as the anti-hero.
Yes, hilarious. 2 for 2, Joshy. Take the pressure off of they're gonna make it anyway. Take the pressure off of a black artist because whoever they put in there, they're gonna be like, they ain't Whitney. So don't put that on no Jasmine Sullivan, no Beyonce. Take them all off. Whitney can't be undone. I actually like when sequels adjust something. I like when they revamp something. Give us a new person. If you're gonna reboot it, make the men women. Make the Ghostbusters became Ghost Women. The Ghostbusters reboot, they were all women. My favorite is the Karate Kid remake where Jaden Smith was the karate boy and he moved to China. They changed race. They changed continent. I love that. No, don't put Coco in there. Don't do that to Coco. Now you're going to make Coco have to live up to Whitney Houston. Don't do that to that baby because no matter who they put in there, they're not going to live up. So don't put it on the black artist.
What about is she clean? Selena Gomez?
Is she clean?
One of them babies was on drugs. I just don't remember which one.
It's not Selena, Angel. You think about Demi.
Yes.
We like Selena. Selena's been on a good path.
Demi Lovato was on drugs?
Demi Lovato? She was on the drugs billboard at one set.
Yeah, I told you. One of the little dark-haired Latinas.
I did not know. I thought Demi was a name.
Oh, Demi almost crossed over, Kev.
He was on the drugas.
I thought she almost died.
What? Oh my God, she almost died.
She almost went on to be with him.
Yeah.
Thing though.
Yeah.
That era of Disney kids was not good on childhoods.
Yeah. Really tough.
That's what got Orlando. What's his name all strung out?
Who? Justin Bieber?
Orlando Brown. Is it Brown?
I think it's Brown.
Yeah. Have y'all heard his new song?
No.
I did.
But I think Demi's been doing better. But yeah, she definitely had that season.
Oh, yeah. Shakira too old. She's not an old woman, but she's too old for this part.
She would sell tickets though.
I don't think there's a star big enough.
Body. Yeah.
You know what? Latin could be a flip.
That's what I'm saying. I'm thinking of the Latin girls.
Give it to J-Lo.
She is too old.
J-Lo ain't nothing but 45.
Do you not remember how old Whitney Houston was in The Bodyguard? She was not nobody's 45.
Jennifer's 55. I don't know how old Whitney was. How
Becky
old?
G.
No. Who is that?
What do you mean? Who is that?
Who's Becky G?
Stop it. You know who Becky G is.
Put that white girl.
Whitney was 29. Who is the biggest star? Who's the biggest pop star at 29? 29.
Put that white girl that is she's short. She looks like one of the Funko Pops.
Sabrina Carpenter.
No. Put William Eyelash in there.
No, man. Get her shorts off the stage, man.
Put William Eyelash. Actually, I think Sabrina Carpenter, she is Ariana Grande is good.
No, I was thinking, but no, she's got Wicked. I don't think she can do that right now.
She can do both.
She can't do it right now.
They already shot Wicked too.
I know, but she has to stay not Elphaba, the other person.
No,
it's Galinda.
Galinda. She's got to stay the good witch. She cannot become she can't become her.
Sabrina Carpenter is how old? I don't know much about her besides
probably 30.
She's 25.
Boom.
She ain't big enough star. Whitney Houston was legitimately a big star. Sabrina wasn't she one of the new artists on the Grammys?
Sabrina Carpenter, but she been a Disney kid.
She ain't one of the big ones. She wasn't no Miley Cyrus.
That's crazy. She is selling out arenas today.
She wasn't no Miley Cyrus.
What about Miley Cyrus?
Nah, she sounds like she smokes cigarettes for breakfast too much.
She sounds like she eats cigarettes for breakfast. Talk about smoke.
Hey man, pass that little Marlboro over.
While they're lit, all of
Marlboro frittata for breakfast this morning.
Hey, born hurting that song till the day I die.
You know what you do? Okay.
Angel, I hope she comes out at the show. I hope she does.
Driving you crazy.
We need to switch it up.
Fucking get the transmission fixed. That's what I want to tell her. Get it fixed.
Y'all.
It's not turning over, damn it.
Get the starter.
We need to switch genders. Bruno Mars need to be the pop star. The bodyguard need to be a big woman.
The bodyguard could be the girl from the Dragon Show.
Brienne of Tarth. Bruno Mars being protected by the lady who plays Brienne of Tarth. Is she I don't know her name is Gwendolyn something. And Bruno is little baby. He's sweet little baby man. she big woman. She beat the Hound. She was in Severance. She beat up the big man in Severance. She too. If she's in that program, she beating up that man.
And also, she could be the coke guy.
What's that?
Like she gets his coke.
Oh no, she gonna tell him no more, Bruno. He could be like, I need it. I got to make my music. And she blows his nose like this. Cause that big woman, she 2-0 in them battles. She be beating the brakes off me. She only lost to Arya. That big white woman, and she big white. Big white is good.
You know, and she was in the people in the elevator.
Severance?
Yes. Yes.
I was like, the elevator. Oh, that's the
line for Severance becoming
people in elevator. Episode 1.
I knew I was gonna get there, but it just the
people in the elevator. That's it. That's all you need to know. The show about people in the elevator.
That's a paraphrase from The Upper Room.
Yes, yes, the people in the elevator. Oh, y'all said that? Y'all said we didn't see it.
Leslie Jones, she's big enough, but I don't know if Leslie could hold the dramatic part of it.
Yeah, that's why, because somebody said Kiki. Kiki be Kiki.
Queen Latifah.
Yeah. She did it.
She is the equalizer right now.
And that hair is gonna be pressed perfectly.
Honey blonde.
She was a BMX rider. I just love that she came out at Coachella with Meg, because we never talked about that.
Yeah, she did come out with Meg. That honey blonde. Yeah, Bruno and Leslie Jones, it wouldn't be serious. That white man was loving that black woman. That was part of it.
Glorilla.
You know what?
I gotta go over here and make this music.
I can't. Also, a woman with a woman bodyguard could be good. What's the lady's name? She was in she was in The Woman King. She was real strong.
Oh yeah, I don't know her name. Black woman, big eyes.
It starts with an L.
Lady. Lisa. Levante.
She was also in a Marvel movie.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Y'all, what's her name? Y'all, no, not Danae.
Lashana Lynch.
Lashana Lynch. That's who it was. She was great in that Woman King. But I guess it doesn't have to be a singer. You could also switch the genres. Because Whitney was a pop star, but Whitney was a pop star.
It could be Meg. And then who would be in
Queen Latifah.
And Queen Latifah, just them two.
Kev, produce it.
You could do it.
I don't know.
You said you wanted to move. Angel, you okay?
Yeah, I just got crap in my stomach from stretching too hard.
Oh.
Yeah, it was like.
Kev, you said you want to get into movies next. This is a great opportunity.
I can jump from churches.
Stop trying to have sex with her. Cass will be trying to position Lala. And I'll be like, she's a little girl. She's so petite. Leave her alone. He really be scooting her and then trying to scoot her back to his crotch.
Come on.
Oh, see, I was about to turn the camera so y'all can see.
Isn't there a height difference? Can he go? She's little. She's on the ground.
It's $25K a cheek, Kevin.
I don't think he can, but that's not going to stop him from trying. He was like, we will be the first.
Tori Kelly, y'all. I love Tori Kelly, but she's
not famous enough.
No, the Whitney Houston, the level is a star on the level of Whitney Houston. For them to remake this movie, that's what I'm telling y'all. Taylor Swift, y'all can be mad all y'all want. Y'all being mad ain't never stopped nothing from happening.
Taylor is bigger than what Whitney was. So, no.
So you think that wouldn't happen because of that?
I don't think Taylor is a mega star. I don't think she is as beloved as Whitney was, but I think she's
by them people who gonna buy them tickets. She absolutely is beloved.
But I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about us.
They ain't making this movie for us. They didn't make it for us the first time.
We's the ones that made it.
No, Whitney Houston was a mainstream star. She was a crossover success. They're not gonna make it a black movie like Sister Act 2.
She wasn't a Taylor. She wasn't a Taylor though.
Simu Liu could work, but he's. I don't think he's as big as Kevin Costner was.
I don't really want to see Taylor act, but maybe I would be like, oh, but also I really think
Angel, you're the exec. Your task and your task with Angel, this is your movie. This is your first movie or this is your last movie. You got to recast The Bodyguard. We are making it. You need to make sure it makes as much money as possible. Who are you casting?
Hold on, let me find. I've got to type in famous young white singers, female singers. We want it to be white.
It's your movie to make. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm casting Taylor Swift, and I'm casting. She's for sure my pop star. If I'm trying to make as much money as possible, ain't nobody making as much money as her touring. I'm telling all the touring people to come see her at the movie. I'm taking Taylor Swift, and I'm taking
Beyonce.
No. Who's her bodyguard that can play her love interest? I'm taking Taylor Swift, and I'm taking Michael B. Jordan.
I got you.
He's right off of Sinners too. He's gonna be a bigger star than he was. Go ahead.
Okay, hold on. They're giving me all older male actors. Okay. Young. Hold on. Let me just add young. So let me get it together. Give me a second. First of all, the female lead will be Katy Perry because one, she'll want to do it. Katy hasn't had a smash hit in a while. We need to see something from her, and the kids love her. So do
Katy Perry, 40 years old.
She just went to space too. Remember, she kissed the ground.
The space thing is kind of a little stain on her right now.
She's 40. Katy looks great.
Katy is 40. I thought she was 30 something too.
She's 40.
That's Santa Barbara water is different.
And see, Taylor is 35, but she is positioned as between 19 and 26.
Wait a minute, Katy Perry is 40?
She's 40. I just looked it up. She born 1984, October 25th. She gonna be 41 this year. So before your movie comes out, she gonna be 41.
Okay, well, damn it. All right.
Michael B. Jordan will pass on a white woman. I'm sorry.
Chill.
That man he taking that movie.
Okay, hold on. I've got to look at that because I don't know the people's names. Because okay, then let me go back to what I said. We're taking that Miley Cyrus. We're gonna take Miley Cyrus. She's only what you laughing about?
You said she sounds like she eats cigarettes.
She does. Fucking cigarettes in the Ninja Stars every morning. She's just throwing them down her guzzle. Her what do you call that on the birds? Gullet. She's throwing them down there. So Miley Cyrus is coming in hot. Okay, coming in hot.
She's 32.
Huh?
She's 32. And again, she doesn't have to be a pop star. Miley Cyrus in the movie, she could be a rock star. I like Miley. I think that's a good choice. Who's the bodyguard? And you can't choose my person.
I'm not. This is going to shake up the audiences. Either it's going to do well or it's going to tank. But he needs another opportunity.
Don't you dare.
And you all know who I'm talking about. Hold on. I'm going to tell you. His name is
Kev on stage.
His name is Jonathan Majors. We're going to do a redo, okay? Now you're going to protect the white woman.
Oh, man, I was going to say a joke, but I don't know if he's watching.
I'm giving him an opportunity. This is a huge opportunity. Let's get it right.
Kevin Costner was 37 and Whitney was 29 in The Bodyguard. So you have 8 years to play with.
Listen, I would be like, he needs to come back. And if he F's this up, we tried. Get in here.
Okay, Zendaya, Timothy Chalamet, we call it the Mound.
Love it. Love it. They did so great. They did so great before.
Chalamet cannot protect Zendaya. She's taller than him.
What do you mean? He's the
bodyguard. He gonna be a pop star.
That is very heightest.
That's what I'm saying, Kev.
Just because you up there.
I feel like your bodyguard should be physically bigger than you. I mean, just to start off.
Okay, they said that I can't let Jonathan do it. I really was trying to give him a second chance. Now hold on.
Ortega ain't no pop star. Y'all just name it. All right, man, we finna go.
Wait a minute. Famous young
pop star.
Oh, you know who's gonna be the bodyguard?
Who?
Franklin.
Saint
Damson Idris.
Yup. That's my people.
How old is Damson? 35?
I'll be 20 something.
Nah, he's in his 30s.
He's 33.
Yeah, he can keep me out with the 30-year-olds.
Is he British or is he American?
Keep him British. Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna switch mine. I'll go.
No.
He said cigarette toast crunch. So cigarette toast crunch.
I'm going Taylor Swift and I'm going Henry Cavill.
SZA.
Oh.
SZA. Jason Momoa.
That's a soft porn. That's not bodyguard.
Jason Momoa is
Somebody said Sterling K. Brown.
He could be a fit bodyguard.
Definitely with Miley Cyrus.
How old is SZA? 30 something? 35. Too old, Josh. You only got 9 years.
All right. SZA.
SZA a big star. SZA might get you a movie greenlit. I don't know how
ain't bigger than Sabrina Carpenter.
Yeah, so I'm saying her movie. I mean, her album Control been on the Billboard for like 8 years.
Women, who are you talking about?
SZA.
SZA's not bigger than Sabrina.
Oh, I think they're about the same, Angel.
I could be biased because I follow mostly black people, and I don't know how popular the white girl is.
That's what I'm saying. You follow the blacks.
Janae Aiko.
This is a good one.
I
like that.
Simu Liu.
I don't know who that is.
He's from 10 Dragons or Shang-Chi.
Oh.
No, Jhené Aiko and The Rock. No, O'Shea Jackson Jr.
No.
Why would you say O'Shea?
Russell Crowe.
Oh, Jesus.
9 years, Kevin.
Okay, Jhené Aiko's 37. Henry Cavill.
She 37?
Michael B. Jordan.
Okay.
There might not be a more castable black man between 35 and 45 right now than Michael B. Jordan. Who else is more castable than him?
He is at the top of the food chain. Selena Gomez. How old is she?
All right. She's probably about 31, 32.
Okay, Selena Gomez.
Uh-huh.
That baby known for singing good, though.
She can sing.
I don't know her to sing really well.
It's okay. That's not why we went to go see The Bodyguard.
Angel, one of the biggest selling point was, and yeah.
Yeah, that won't be for this, not for this remix. Don't nobody want to hear nobody sing after Whitney. And Whitney didn't already sang. Okay. So, and then
I love you like a love song, baby. She barely above talking in that.
I love you like a love song, baby.
That's big hair behind the ears.
Love you like a love song, baby. Okay, who are these? And Offset.
All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. We've had a great time. I got a flight to catch.
Aldous.
God great. God be with y'all.
Jhené Aiko and 50 Cent.
All right. We'll see y'all the week of May 5th. If you're in London, please get a ticket to a show. Be safe. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other.
Doechii.
Yes. And Doechii.
Doechii.
And Doechii.
Idris.
All right. Love y'all. Bye.
Bye.